For as long as we've been making choices, we've been caught in this tug of war, right? Between two really powerful forces. The cool, calculating logic of our head and the raw, gut feeling from our heart. It's a conflict that basically defines what it means to be human. And, as we're about to see, it's about to redefine our technology, too.
I mean, seriously, think about it for a sec. The last time you had to make a really big choice, maybe a new job or a big move, what did you actually rely on? Did you whip out a spreadsheet and map out all the pros and cons with cold, hard logic? Or did you just go with a gut feeling, an instinct that you couldn't quite explain, but you just couldn't shake it either? Yeah, for most of us, it's a messy mix of both.
Now, artificial intelligence, well, it's always been the ultimate head. Just pure data, pure logic, zero feelings. But that's changing. A massive shift is happening, and it's about to give these machines something they've never, ever had before: a heart.
So to really get a handle on where AI is headed, we first have to talk about the classic model for how we think we make decisions.
Yeah, this is the textbook stuff we all probably learned about at some point. It's so clean, right? So methodical. You identify a problem, weigh your criteria, check out the options, and logically, boom, you pick the best one. It's a world with no feelings, only facts.
The fancy academic term for this is the consequentialist perspective. And all that really means is that we make choices by logically calculating the consequences. And any feelings we have, they're just a side effect of all that mental math. Emotion is seen as the result of a decision, not the cause.
But, come on. We all know from our own lives that that's not the whole picture, not even close. There's this other, much more powerful force at play, one that's usually working behind the scenes.
This quote just nails it. The feeling of risk can have a way bigger impact on our behavior and on society than the actual statistical reality of that risk. Our emotions aren't just a little byproduct. They are a primary driver of what we do.
And this perfectly illustrates what researchers call the risk as feelings hypothesis. See, our emotions, worry, fear, dread, even hope, they act like a direct input. They create a shortcut that guides our actions immediately. And a lot of the time, they completely bypass that slow, logical process we just talked about.
And what's so wild about this is that our emotional system is, well, it's terrible at math. The thrill you feel just thinking about winning the lottery is pretty much the same whether your odds are 1 in 10,000 or 1 in 10 million. The powerful feeling of the outcome totally stomps on the actual probability.
Okay, so if real human intelligence is this messy, beautiful dance between logic and emotion, what in the world does that mean for AI, which has only ever had the logic part?
It means we need to build this emotional AI. This is the next frontier, right here. Creating systems that don't just crunch data, but can actually understand the most human data there is, our feelings. Think of it this way. A traditional AI has a brain. That's the large language model. It has hands. Those are the tools and APIs it uses to do things in the world. And it has rules, its instructions. But it's always been missing the heart. Emotional intelligence is this brand new fourth dimension.
And get this isn't some far-off sci-fi concept. A new generation of AI, like Cavefish AI's EchoDepthAI, can already detect 52 distinct emotional states. Everything from frustration to delight to trust, just by analyzing our voice, text, and facial expressions in real time.
All right, so let's take this out of the lab and into the real world, because this is already changing how we interact with technology every single day.
The real key is this multimodal approach. That's just a fancy way of saying it looks at everything together: your voice, your face, your words. By combining all of that, these systems get a much more complete and accurate picture of how you're actually feeling. And then it can generate a response that's genuinely empathetic.
So let's take customer service. You're no longer just talking to a mindless bot that follows a script. You're interacting with an agent that can actually hear the frustration in your voice and change its tone and approach to calm things down and really help you.
Or how about in finance? This adds a whole new layer to security. The AI can pick up on the super subtle emotional cues in someone's voice or text that often pop up during deception, helping flag fraud way more accurately.
And in the workplace, this is huge. These systems can act like an early warning signal. By analyzing communication patterns, totally anonymously of course, an AI can help managers spot the early signs of team burnout, so they can step in before it becomes a real crisis.
And the accuracy is already incredibly high. Just look at this. Analyzing text alone is 92% accurate, and speech is right behind at 87%. And when you combine them, that multimodal approach, the system gets even smarter. But the really powerful part? These systems are always learning, getting better with every single conversation.
So, let's be real. This is an absolutely incredible new power. And with that kind of power comes an immense responsibility to get it right.
And getting it right means we have to build in some essential, non-negotiable guardrails from day one. Things like preventing emotional manipulation, for sure, making sure the AI is sensitive to how different cultures express emotion, and being completely transparent about how it's interpreting our feelings.
You see, this is a profound evolution. We are moving away from an AI that's just the passive tool we command, toward an AI that is an autonomous, empathetic collaborator that actually gets us.
And that leaves us with one last, really fascinating question to chew on. For the very first time, we are building technology that can hold up a mirror to our own inner emotional world. So as AI gets better and better at understanding our emotions, what are we going to learn about ourselves?